Harlem Talk Radio brings you news and information at stimulating talk radio on the Harlem community. We cover business, education, entertainment, health, politics, technology, finance.
Welcome back, fam, to Harlem Roots and Beyond. Segment 2 is going to begin in a minute. Please log on to segment 1. Check us out, where Kama and I went in on the African American Day Parade, which is coming up this Sunday. We went into the bombings in Libya, and we talked about the vote and the importance of getting out the vote. So
and the things you need to know.
There you go. So be sure to check us out. And segment 2 is going to start in a few minutes, so hold tight. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is 3-time Tony Award winner Hinton Battle from your favorite Broadway shows like Dreamgirls, Sophisticated Ladies, Miss Saigon. But what I'm excited to talk to you about today is a wonderful new musical that I'm producing called Sisters. I absolutely love this show, and you will too. Based on stories from black women, Sisters is an uplifting musical journey that explores a woman's experience with humor, humility, and sass. Songs by artists like Billie Holiday, Lena Horne, Aretha Franklin, and Beyonce. Sisters will rock you to your core. The music, the moment, the message will be etched in your memory forever. So start texting, tell your friends, get on the phone and order your tickets now to see Sisters at the St. Luke's Theater. For tickets, visit telecharge.com or call 212-239-6200. Sisters.
Hello, this is KamiKaze. Welcome back to Harlem Roots and Beyond here on HarlemTalkRadio.com. Like we said, be sure to log on to segment 1 and check out some of the things me and Lydgia talked about. In segment 2, we're going to discuss a few things that, really should matter in life, such as society, education, community, family, extended family, things that aging, getting older, risk-taking, things of that nature. This is what we're going to set off in segment 2. So, sis, follow me now.
Which?
Okay, let's go with family, extended family. How do you feel that people, approach this, and how we dealt with it in our day and time? What was the importance of family and extended family as today? What difference do you see?
That's a great question, brother. Family is, as I see it today, is it's fractured. And I think it's fractured for a number of reasons. It's fractured because a lot of fathers are not in the home, or
and that's
economics.
Another thing. Let me hold you right there. That's another thing, because that's another thing.
That's important.
When we were coming up, there were broken homes, but a lot of homes had fathers. Like in our day and time, when me and you were coming up,
true.
That's 20, 30, 40 years ago.
It's true.
A lot of homes had families. A lot of homes didn't, but a lot of homes had families, and that's another thing that made the connection between our people stronger. Because they had a lot of, like I said, a lot of homes had that head foundation to lead the way. You knew it was a problem if you wasn't home in time for dinner or in time for curfew, because it wasn't just moms who gonna gag her mouth and be emotional about it and don't really want to put the put down on you. It was Pop Duke. It was that wait till your father get home kind of thing.
There you go.
And that's where the boundaries such as respect came in.
Yes.
Because you wasn't going to be disrespectful, especially not in the home, which is where everything begins. You weren't going to be disrespectful because Big Papa was there.
Absolutely.
And he wasn't having it.
That's right.
I don't care how tough you thought you was in the street. So that intel helped you to carry that same mentality to the street. That is certain levels of things I have to respect.
Now dig this. I'm gonna float on that. There's such a disrespect to extended family members. Now,
yes.
You have people who are not your blood. I hear young cats in the street saying, that ain't my father, that's not my uncle, that's not my... It doesn't have to be your blood. This is someone who's looking out for you.
Especially if they're your elder. That alone should say enough to you. This is your elder telling you something. Why? Because she ain't telling you go up to the heights and get 10 grams and come back and flip it. She ain't telling you the right thing.
Right. Or, or she's not fly. She doesn't have on the name brand
she
stuff.
She ain't got the coupe at the curb.
Right. Come on.
So her word don't mean nothing.
Right. So back in the day, and I just want to just add on to what you were saying about having a father in the house. Yeah. I lost my father to a death at 5 years old. So I didn't have my dad coming up. But I'll say this, and I'm going to take us back in history, because I love history in that way. When I was a kid, I didn't like history too much, because it was too disconnected. The older I get, I love history.
You didn't understand it.
Slavery, brother, the enslavement of our people took our fathers away from us.
Took that figure away, yes.
Took it away. Took him away, took our mothers away in a certain way.
That segregation, that separation, that splitting up.
That kid didn't know what family was. And so centuries later, people say, no, that happened all those years ago.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. No, it has a lot to do with...
That's where it started. That's why it's in the condition that it's in now.
So when we look at our families, it's a reason why our families are like that. It's a reason why men just pick up and go.
Yeah.
Some men, listen, even if he wasn't with the woman, if he had kids with that woman, he was present. Yes. He may not live in the house with her.
But he was present, because I know my grandfather he was present, and he didn't live in the household. But his presence was felt, and it was there. And when he needed to be there, he was there.
Beautiful thing. All right, family. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the things that matter most. We wanted to kind of switch up the show a little bit tonight.
Yeah. Level it out.
And I'm going to hit you with something.
Yeah, bring it to me.
How is it that we are in the wealthiest country in the world, yet we are lacking in academics? Like, our school systems are just broken. Why do you think that is?
Well, because in the wealthiest country in the world, what do you think is all about more than anything?
Oh, the green.
Okay, so there you have your answer.
The greenbacks?
Everything else is not important. Especially
the moolah.
That paper, baby, the cheese.
The Benjamins.
Yeah, those cats. See, in a world of that nature, like you said, the richest world in the nation,
isn't that something?
That's priority. Education is in priority. Now, if you got the moolah, the greenbacks, the money for proper education, because there is proper education here, but it costs. Just like as you go through public school, you get all that free education till it's time for that quote-unquote higher learning. Then comes the cost factor. See, that's what it's all about, the money, the cost. So in the free, and basically, let's say about 65% of our kids come up in the public school system in this country, especially us. And you know, when I say us, I mean us. Come up in the public school system. Now, you think they're really concerned with that being a proper criteria, operating criteria for us?
Now, dig this. Even with what we're talking about, if you have the money, you can get the private educations. But I say this. I've met a few folks in my time, brother, and the private school kids.
Yeah.
They so Europeanized that they don't know left from right. Yeah. Their value systems are clearly not a family.
Erased.
They don't know who they are. They don't know their history. They
value
don't know.
Systems are erased.
Isn't that so interesting? So now they can get the good jobs, and they can they can sit in the villa, you know,
exactly,
and they can cavort.
Okay.
You love it. They cavort.
Okay, yes indeed.
But you must know who you are.
Exactly.
And you must be taught
you must
who you are.
Identify with yourself.
Yes.
More than anything else.
And our public schools, I know, have good teachers in them, but those curriculums are scaled down to nothing
to show us anything, especially not anything that's going to make us feel proud to be us.
Absolutely. So to the average kid, we walked outside right now and stopped 5 kids of a certain age, let's say between 5 and 12, and said, "Who are you? Who are you?"
Peter Jenkins.
And where do you come from?
Paul Livy.
Right? Where you come from?
I live on 114th Street. I live right down the block on Manhattan Avenue.
And who was Martin Luther King?
Oh, he fought for black people.
Right. Right? And so I don't expect a fully,
I understand
laid
your
out
point. That's why
answer,
I'm following you.
Right?
Yeah, that's why I'm following you.
But if our kids are only learning Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, they have no sense of who they were.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The greatness.
Yeah, the things they did.
Wow.
They
Inventors.
They just have them all in a general area. Oh, they fought for black people.
That's right.
You know, and they all had their own breakdowns of what they were really fighting for black people.
Isn't that something?
And all of it mattered. Don't get me wrong. Now, everybody's breakdown mattered.
Yes.
Still to this day, sad to say, it still matters. I listened to Malcolm X speeches. I think I said this about 8 months ago on this show. I listened to Malcolm X speeches, and they still apply.
Absolutely.
I listened.
Timeless.
I listened. I mean, I know we get the right to vote, but I listened to the ballot or the bullet. And that wasn't really about the right to vote because we had it already. It was that was something extra. That was about going out to vote to change things.
Yes.
And it applies.
Yes.
To this day and time.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's crazy because we're talking almost maybe 40 years ago with this speech, 42, 43 years ago.
And family, if you don't, the beautiful thing about the internet, and we tease about the internet all the time, but you can see every speech Malcolm did right on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just put Malcolm X in and YouTube him and just sit back and listen. And get your learn on.
Martin Luther King too, because Martin. I mean, they praised the mountaintop speech, but Martin gave great speeches too.
Oh, absolutely.
He gave great speeches.
Absolutely. And toward the end of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, he was
swaying to the left a little bit. He was getting a little tired.
He was
getting a little tired of the BS. He was tired of turning the other cheek. It was time to start smacking some cheeks.
No, he was.
I know.
Yeah,
he was
man.
swaying.
No, yeah.
He was swaying. He was getting fed up with the trying to be peaceful because it wasn't working.
So, family, Harlem Roots and Beyond, every Thursday evening at 8, Lydgia and KamiKaze getting it in. And our segment 2 tonight is just, thoughts about the things that matter most to us.
In life.
You want to hit me with one? What's good?
All right, let's take it to, like, when you think about it as for yourself, basically, and in coming of age, like, as far as how you feel about the things you've been doing, what you're heading and what you know and what you believe to be the direction in life, how do you feel about what younger people think of you now that you're not in your jumping 20s anymore and you've advanced to an age where it's like more maturity and leveled out in life? Where do you feel you stand with young people as far as your age now?
You know what's interesting, Kay? It's like we live in a society that's all about the young.
Yeah.
And at no other time in my teens or 20s or 30s, even in my early 40s, it didn't really affect me that much. I just, you live your life.
Exactly.
But I tell you one thing, aging is a very interesting thing. And it's reinforced to me daily.
Yeah.
When I look at younger people who feel like, it's all about me.
Tomorrow's
move out of the way.
Promise.
Move.
I ain't never gonna die. Tomorrow is a must. They can't take tomorrow from me. This is my world.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's
and then
how
you
they
get
feel.
to where we are. It's like, well, tomorrow may not be here. We may not be in another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
let me get right.
Let's
get
it
tight
in.
And get it straight right now. Let me keep it 100 right now because this is how these things go. It could be like this today and like that tomorrow, and it comes a time when you learn to realize that. But it takes age. It takes age and experience to get there. See, when you in your roaring 20s and you're ripping 30s, you ain't really seeing that. Like some cats, when they get into their 30s, they begin to detect it a little bit. But you still got a little bit of that wildness in you. And it take those 40s, honestly, to tone that down. Like, if you really a mature person.
Right.
Them 40s are going to tone you down like, all right, the radicalness is over. This is the reality. You're heading to the top of the hill. And once you get up there at the 50 mark, it's downhill on the other side. You
become Mufasa, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. You're the aging lion now that everybody's looking to. Like, okay, so the teeth
now
are falling
it's time
out.
For you to start passing everything. Yeah. Oh, little ache in your knee just came out of nowhere, and it bothers you from time to time.
What was I teasing about before we went on air, brother? Please tell a fan what I was teasing about. Looking over the glasses.
Over the top of the glasses, like the old folks do.
Like, who does that?
Like Mr. Peebles.
What? That's where I am, fam. So if you see me looking at something over the glasses, I think it's age, and I never looked over my glasses a day in my life.
Because you see older people do it most of the time. Like you see the old men do the snot thing with their nose.
Here we go. I don't know, fam, where that came from. That's a dude thing. Oh, that's the coming of age.
You know what I mean?
I just can't, and that's why I'm so glad you reminded me of how nasty the brothers can be.
I'm gonna get a little nervous, when I start realizing I got a handkerchief in my pocket every day. That's another old man key.
There you go. So that's why, I'm going to give the elders the fist bump because I know what y'all doing. Y'all handling stuff, and I don't know what's going on.
Bump the fist.
Bump the fist. Boom. Hello. So I want to hit you with something.
Okay, bring it.
Thoughts about risk. Did you take more risks as a younger man, or does risk just come with that territory, or are you saying, you know, so I want to do something different with my life now because, like you said, I'm almost to the top of the hill?
Yeah, you know, you take risks, but, you know, me, I'm not like really a risk taker. I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? So when I deal with most things in life, I measure the values, I measure the pluses, the minuses. So, you know, that in terms alone eliminates a lot of risk taking. You understand? And that's just me naturally. It's not like to perceive or to make sure I'm accurate or precise with everything. That's just me. I'm just not a risk taker. You know, the balance has to sit out right. I know I can never see the outcome, but I have to at least lay it out correctly. You know. So I'm not like the jumping. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm spontaneous with a lot of things, but I'm not really the jump in the water kind of guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You know what? Lately, I think the past maybe 6 months, I've been a little edgier.
Okay. A little more cautious.
Little edgier, like more risk. Like I feel like,
okay, you ready? You down to do it?
Yeah,
because I feel like, well, especially in the state where, you know, I don't want to put your business out there, but in the state where you at right now, you're at a balance right now. Like, okay, I can go this way, I can go that way. So I say that's why you got that feeling.
Yeah,
you know, like, well, why don't we just take a chance at this?
Why not?
Because I remember you was telling me about the traveling thing, but then, you know, I see you just ready to take. You at a risk point. I see what this. I see why you posed that question came to your mind.
Yeah, because I
this
think
is where you're at.
Yeah, I think it's you know, when you think about risk, right? Most people look at that word as a negative.
Yeah,
well, if
as
I
a
take
loss.
this risk, right?
As a loss. That's what they look at.
It can be a plus.
Yeah, because I've taken risks that have turned into plus. That sit me where I'm sitting right here today. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, even when I took those risks, I still analyzed what I was going to do and where I was heading with it. Just happened to fall out right.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Now, there's recklessness. Now, neither one of us don't have a reckless personality.
Exactly.
So when
some risk involve recklessness.
There you go, because we talked about it last when we left the studio. Boys, some risky folks do some risky things, but there's reckless in the risk.
Yeah.
I'd rather have, like you said, well, kind of think it through, right?
Yeah,
like I'm not going to take my life savings and just
is going to be exactly.
Right, I'm going to just take my life savings and say, okay, I'm going to go to Japan. Yeah. No, that's not a risk. That's just being foolish, or reckless. But I just wanted to pose that question to the family listening, because sometimes we don't take those risks out of fear of what may happen,
what may go wrong.
Right, but something may go right.
Right, and then everything's all good. But you said that fear factor will hold you back sometimes. Like,
what keeps us fearful, do you think? What keeps us in line?
Not wanting to fail, not wanting to be defeated. You understand? Those are things that bring about fear.
Right.
Failure, you know, basically that's it. Not wanting to fail and not wanting to be defeated.
Now dig this: the wealthiest people, the most successful people
have took the biggest risk.
The biggest risk.
Yeah, so that sets a stigma. Like, it can, like you said, you never know. It might not be all bad on that side. You might take that risk, and next year you be looking back like, if I wouldn't have did this, I wouldn't even be chilling in this coop, not having to worry about nothing financial anyway. You know. Yeah, that's why they call it risk.
Real quick,
here we go. Come on. Come on.
I just want to chime in on just examine, because you had said something about like the most successful and wealthiest people take the biggest risk, and I was thinking, right, when I listened to some of the most prominent venture capitalists in the world, they take risk, but it's so calculated that they minimize the risk they take.
Yeah, that's basically what
So I'm a small business person,
right,
and I think I may take bigger risks than they do,
right,
because I have to decide whether I'm going to pay Con Edison or eat less or more ramen soup this week,
right.
And that's critical.
That's real talk.
Because here's the risk, right?
Real talk.
I could buy 15 packs of ramen soup, knowing that 14 will last me the whole week, but one might be for that guest who might come over. Will my guests get real greedy and eat like two, 3 or 4?
Right.
You know,
right.
And so you're saying, Nizer, where you going with this ramen soup and all that?
It's the risk.
You don't understand. If I run empty on that 5th day and I ain't got that ramen soup, I don't know if I can come to work the next day.
Listen.
I'm gonna have headaches and all that stuff.
But see,
I'm making fun of it.
Right. No, but see, now I'm gonna bring you home with this. we in a community should never go hungry. So if we know a brother is a small business owner and he's trying to build something for his people and he's trying to create something.
Once upon a time, it was like that.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, you could knock on the neighbor's door for salt or a couple of eggs, and it wasn't no laughing matter, and everybody in the block ain't know the business because everybody was doing it.
Right. Because now, on top, see, I love the way we opened the door for to grow in our discussion. And we brought it back to like community and how we support each other. Because when you look at Donald Trump, who quote unquote take these big risks, when he falls and go into bankruptcy and all that stuff, how's it he's able to get more money when he owes a lot of money?
Yeah.
But when me and you fall into a financial calamity, how is it that everybody is running from us? And if we go to the bank and say, listen,
they don't want to help us.
We got a little problem, but I have a little trouble, but I have a track record of staying the course and making sure that whoever I owe, I pay back. They don't want to hear all that.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump has this safety net. Is he really taking the risk when he knows he can get some more money?
Right.
Is it really a risk?
Is it really a risk? Now, we're talking about family. If you're just joining us, the question was, when was the last time you took a risk and what was the outcome? That was the basis of the question, and then we started going into, what does risk really mean? And for most people, it probably veers toward the negative. If I take a risk, right?
It's a chance I'm
going to lose. Or, and Kama and I was saying, no, it's a chance you could win.
Exactly.
And I think, to Nizer's point, small businesses, it is riskier to deal with somebody that's eating ramen noodle versus somebody eating steak.
You lose faster. Exactly.
Yeah.
See, he could go from steak, rice, and corn down to chicken and potatoes.
Right. You going from ramen to water.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the water.
Exactly.
Right. So, how are we on time, brother, so we can stay within time?
Follow me now. Nizer?
Okay. So our producer, he listens to the show. It's a time lapse.
He's caught in the conversation. That's where he at.
How are we on time, brother?
Where
we at?
Practically had to wake him up.
I love it.
We got 5 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Listen to the show.
Cool.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. No, so we know. That's why. So family.
He get the delayed reaction, so he still hear us talking while we asking him the time.
So the last 5 minutes, Kay, let's talk about this because I thought it was interesting. This comes up a lot with women when we talk about relationships, but I think it's something that we can apply to life.
Okay.
And it's reason, season, or lifetime. Have you heard with that?
No.
Okay, good. See, because men don't talk like this. This is a woman thing. Let me put you on.
Yeah, put me on.
So usually, there's a reason you meet someone, and there's a season in which you meet them. It's a time.
Yeah.
Not necessarily autumn, fall, or summer.
Okay,
but
I understand.
It's
a time, like a time and place.
And some people are there with you for the lifetime. So some people come in for a reason. They may stay or go. Some people have a season, they come or go.
And then go, yeah.
And then some people just there for the long.
There. Okay.
Now, I'm taking it away from the romantic, because women, we talk about it in a romantic sense. Well, this person came, they were my season, and this is why. So think about reason, season, lifetime. And what do you think about that? Think about people who have come into your life that may not be around anymore.
People who have come and are still around, and people who've just...
And why are they still around? Why are some people lifetime people? Let's go to that. Why are some people lifetime people?
I guess that more depends on the connection that you have with them, how strong that is. That's what keeps people around. That's what keeps you wanting to stay in touch, and that's what it is. It's that connection between you and that person that keeps them around. Like those people that come and go, all right, y'all make that connection, but the connection is not strong enough to make it a combination between the two of you. So that's what I basically believe. Yeah, all the season, reason, and the lifetime depends on the connection that you have with the person on whatever level it is, whether it's an intimate relationship, a friendship, a family thing, whatever it is that connection between y'all.
So as we, end the segment 2 for this evening, we want to thank everyone for checking us out.
Yes.
And we hope that you actually spend a lifetime with us, because this is what we love to do.
And this is what we're doing.
And
peace.
Before you close out, Fashion Week is this week. And
yes, Fashion Week.
Our guests in to talk about what happened at Fashion Week and what's great in the fashion world.
Okay.
So Douglas Says, is coming in. I'm trying to actually book him. He's interested in coming in. So we hope to see Douglas in October to talk about Fashion Week. He's one of the top designers. And my brother's going to take us out.
Love, peace, and happiness to every man, woman, and child. Good night, Harlem and the world.
Harlem Talk Radio brings you news and information and stimulating talk radio on the Harlem community. We cover business, education, entertainment, health, politics, technology, finance, and lots more.